disappointment of the past is gone. The 45-year drought is over. The Los Angeles Kings are indeed the kings of the National Hockey League. They are the 2012 Stanley Cup champions.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to a post-game live here on Dime Dropper for the 2025-26 NBA season. Before we get started, you already know the drill. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube for all things LA sports and your home for LA professional basketball. Unfortunately, in terms of LA basketball, UCLA went home at the hands of the UConn Huskies last night. Unfortunate. My dad and my sister, UCLA alums, been rooting for themselves as a little kid. But we are live from Los Angeles. As always, super chats are turned on if you want to drop $1 or a dime. Any donation is appreciated for your boy. If you're a member of the channel, all your comments will be read on live. I am just about 30 minutes away from heading on over to Intuit Dome for vlog number 24 on the season for me, Clippers, Bucks. But before we do that, there are two Clipper games that I have not discussed on this channel. And I'm not talking about the only two games I haven't covered on this channel or won't be covering this year, the Phoenix game and the Philly game, because my goal is to cover 80 games this season, at least say something about it on this channel, whether I was at the game vlogging it or I'm talking about it. So we're going to talk about this 41-point masterpiece by DG the other night against the Mavs, which made me super excited. But before we do that, I wanted to briefly touch on the game against the Pelicans that we lost 99-105 without Kawhi, DG, and Ben Mathurin. I knew going into that game it was going to be an uphill battle. We are I think after this game, we were 4-11 on the second night of back-to-backs, or 4-10. And Jordan Miller got his first career start, which was awesome. He started alongside Chris Dunn, Brooke Lopez, DJ, and JC. So, there's not much shot creation there. And the way we got it going early was throwing it to JC, getting him in the mid-post a little bit. And especially against smaller guys on the left-hand side of the floor, it feels like JC has some success with that turnaround jumper going to the baseline. But it's not consistent, and we don't go to it consistently enough. And I feel like the one time, if JC wanted to show that he was like a go-to guy, Utah would have been the place. And he put up good stats, but he didn't put up great stats. And I just don't think that you got enough there to see that, you saw enough that John Collins is a good role player in this league. He's not a star. But anyway, I thought he got off to a good start. He was getting us going. DJ had a nice little, he was hitting shots from outside, getting to the paint. But Trey Murphy had 13 points in the first quarter, knocking down all his threes. At the end of the first quarter, we were only down by 2, though, 26-28. And we were staying in it in the second quarter. JC, Jordan Miller, and then Bogey comes out of nowhere. I mentioned Bogey. Should we play him without Ben Mathurin? Well, it took no Ben Mathurin, no Kawhi or DG to get him in there. And he had his second best game of the season after that game against Dallas where we won early on in the season. He was knocking down contested threes off the dribble, making good plays in pick and roll, looking like the old Bogey in this game. 16 points, a rebound and assist, 2 turnovers on 6 for 9 shooting and 3 for 5 from downtown and 1 for 2 from the free throw line. 67% from the field and 60 from 3 in 27 minutes for Bogey off the bench. As a team, we only scored 34 points off the bench, but that's a lot more than they scored. They only scored 21, and we still lost the game, which tells you that our starters really outdid them. Got a comment from a member. Shootbach Decor says John Collins got to start hitting threes again, especially open corner catch and shoots. Absolutely agree with you on that. In this game, John Collins actually shot the 3-ball decently. He was 3 for 8 from downtown, 7 for 14 from the field. So he shot 50%, but the free throw line, that is where we lost this game, in my opinion. We didn't shoot well in the second quarter, but that being said, we only got outscored by 1 point. So we were down 52-55 at half. All things considered, you feel like you're pretty much there, but we were 19 for 32 from the free throw line. And then they were 18 for 22 from the free throw line. So they shot 82% from the line. We shot 59% from the line. And you're talking about a team who's the best free throw shooting team in the NBA this season in us. That's not really acceptable. John Collins going 1 for 3 from the line. We shot 46% in the game to their 47, so damn near identical. But they shot better from the 3-ball, 38% from deep. We shot 31. So we shot worse in every statistical category. In the second half, we actually ended up taking the lead. JC continued to roll, not physically in the pick and roll, but he was just rolling. DJ was unbelievable, finishing around the basket. Chris Dunn handling the ball, making plays, getting 2 feet in the paint. Jordan Miller getting 2 feet in the paint. And Ijax finishing on the roll, finishing on putbacks. He was everywhere. And we broke even in the third quarter at 32. But the one thing I'll say, and DJ had 20 points through 3 quarters. John Collins at 16. Sadiq Bey on the other side was looking like a star. Like he was hitting turnaround jumpers with a hand in his face. It was ridiculous. I mean, just his and timely shots too. One of my members, Danny, says Bogey cooks teams in scrimmages / overseas play. I don't know why it hasn't translated this season for us. I miss Gallo. Well, Gallo was like 7 years ago, but I feel you. I mean, he was great. Bogey was good for us last season, just until the playoffs, but he was good for us. I think this season he's just been really hampered by injuries. And then he's saying, I'm digging Ijax. Ijax has been fantastic. So in the fourth quarter, we just kind of ran into we didn't have shot creation. We didn't have a guy, Zion is still the best player in the game, even though he wasn't super aggressive, just 7 shot attempts, 15 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 steals, and 2 turnovers for Zion on 5 for 7 shooting and 5 for 7 from the free throw line. I mean, I don't really get it. I don't know why he only shot 7 times, but Trey Murphy had 27. They didn't have DeJounte Murray in this game. Trey Murphy had 27 points on 9 for 17 shooting and 5 for 11 from 3. So he was lights out. Sadiq Bey had 20 on 6 for 11 shooting and 3 for 4 from 3 and 5 for 5 from the free throw line to go along with 6 boards and 6 dimes. So Sadiq Bey is getting an efficient 26 and 6. Eve Missy 11 and 11 to go along with 4 assists on 5 for 5 shooting. And Herb Jones had 11. They got really good stuff from everywhere in that starting lineup. And to be honest with you, without all 3 of our guys, when the Pelicans have Zion and they have Herb Jones and Trey Murphy, they're a better team. Like, they're not an awful team. They've just been super hampered by injuries, and Jordan Poole's been a disaster. But, man, it wasn't really a tough loss. I mean, we did only score 15 points in the fourth, which was pathetic, but it's like we don't really have shot creation like that. We had a good run in the beginning of the quarter. We were up 94-91 and then proceeded to allow them to go on a 9-0 run. One of them, Chris Dunn, gambled from the top, 1 pass away, and left Trey Murphy, the hottest player on the floor, wide open for 3 in a big situation in a crucial moment. And we have seen too much, and I love Chris Dunn, too much of him gambling and just over helping to try to get steals in very crucial situations or swiping down at the end of a shot clock, just moments that lack discipline for one of the best defenders in basketball. And I just think that ended up being a big mistake. They went on a 9-0 run to make it 100-94. John Collins, who had been one of our best players in the game, had to be taken out with 4 minutes left because of his minutes restriction, which was awful because he was one of our only go-to guys. And then Brook Lopez missed 3 free throws in crunch time, missed a layup, and then got a loose ball foul after it. Immediately after that, ended up being over the limit, so they got to the free throw line. And I honestly think that we should have maybe given Ijax the closing minutes. I get he had his stint. He comes back out, gets a rest, but maybe we should have closed with him because Lopez, it's not even hindsight. I was thinking of it in the moment because he was getting outplayed by Ijax, respectfully. So we're going to read the lines now before we move on to the Dallas game. Derrick Jones Jr. led the way for us with 22 points to go along with 4 boards, 3 assists, a steal, and a turnover on 7 for 11 shooting and 1 for 2 from 3. Made all 7 of his free throws, so he wasn't at fault in 34 minutes of play. I don't think DJ was at fault for anything except for a rebound late that he didn't box out. Actually, no, that was in the Dallas game. But he needed this because he had gone those 3 games in a row that we lost. He had been in a little bit of a slump. So it was good for him to get this game going into Dallas. He was very efficient as well. John Collins had 18 points and 8 rebounds to go along with an assist, a steal, and he turned the ball over 3 times. He was 7 for 14 from the field, as I mentioned. I mean, I thought he was efficient and good. My only issue was the free throws. The free throws were a problem. 1 for 3. Brook Lopez, 6 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, and 3 turnovers, and 1 block on 2 for 9 shooting, 0 for 3 from 3, and 2 for 6 on the free throw line. I'm not going to lie, he was awful. Defensively, he wasn't bad, but offensively, he was awful. We needed better. Chris Dunn, 8 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals, 3 turnovers on 3 for 8 shooting and 2 for 4 from downtown. I thought he was solid, but just some crucial mistakes at the end. Then Jordan Miller didn't shoot very well. And free throw wise, he wasn't as good as he usually is either. 11 points, 8 rebounds, and 5 assists to go along with 1 steal and no turnovers in his first NBA start. Hard to believe it's his first NBA start after all the games that guys have missed for us throughout the years. He was 2 for 8 from the field, 0 for 3 from downtown, and 7 for 11 from the foul line. So just not a good enough shooting game in all 3 respects for Jordan Miller in his 37 minutes, which was a team-leading 37 minutes. Those were our starters. You didn't get enough from Brook Lopez. Didn't get enough from Jordan Miller efficiency-wise, and some crucial mistakes. A crucial mistake by Chris Dunn late in the game. As far as our bench, Cam Christie actually was one of the 9 rotation players in this game. He played 12 minutes and had a donut, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, a steal, and 2 turnovers on 0 for 2 shooting and missed his only 3-point attempt, Cam Christie, in his 12 minutes. Ijax should have gotten more than 19 minutes, in my opinion. 13 points, 6 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 block, no turnovers on 6 for 9 shooting. He shot a 3 and ended up shooting 2 threes because I think one was at the end of the shot clock. They looked horrible. I don't know if he makes them in practice, but man, they looked horrible. And then he was 1 for 3 from the free throw line. Again, contributing to the fact that we lost the game at the line, primarily, in my opinion. But he should have gotten more than 19 minutes. He was a +2 in his minutes. Lopez was a -8. Lopez got 10 more minutes than him. I disagreed with that. And he was, 13 points. He was our 4th leading scorer. And then Bogey, our 3rd leading. Actually, I'll talk about Kobe Sanders real quick. 5 points, 2 dimes, 4 steals. So I think Kobe Sanders has had a really solid defensive rookie season. Off ball and on. 1 turnover for him, but he didn't shoot well. 2 for 6 from the field, 1 for 4 from 3 in 20 minutes. And Bogey, that was a big silver lining because, if in games that Darius Garland or Kawhi Leonard aren't going to play, and I hope that Kawhi Leonard doesn't miss more than 1 more game because then he wouldn't be eligible for awards. But Bogey just being there as insurance, depending on how long Ben Mathurin is out, is nice. 16 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist, 2 turnovers on 6 for 9 shooting, and 3 for 5 from 3 for Bogey. We lose it 105-99. That was 4 straight L's, making us 34-36 after 70 games. But now we move on to talking about the most recent game. And this one was a very, very exciting one because Darius Garland put on an absolute show. We got DG back and we got Kawhi back. So our starting lineup was our real starting lineup. DG, DJ, JC, Kawhi, and Brook. We played a 9-man rotation with a bench of Jordan Miller, Chris Dunn, Ijax, and Nico. And fun fact, heading into this game, we're 1-5 without Nico this season. 1-5, which tells you how important he is to the team. Just because he doesn't do many things wrong, he understands what he is out there. He's a good plus defender. It's just his 3-ball, right? If he's missing, he can be irrelevant in the game. And if he's hitting shots, he's fantastic. But he averages out to 40% from 3. So you'll take that. I still think that's a net positive player, even at his age. And so having him in this game, it was nice. We got him as well because he didn't play in the New Orleans game. But early on in the game, Dallas was hitting every shot. We were doing nothing different. We were switching 1 through 4. Lopez was in drop. Isaiah Jackson was hedging, the usual. But they couldn't miss. Klay Thompson hit 4 threes in the first quarter. 4 for 4 coming off the bench. No dip. PJ Washington hit a contested 3. Gafford threw down an insane lob. I was like, dude. And the crazy part is we were playing really good offense too. Like DG got going early, knocking down the 3-ball, getting in the in-between game against drop coverage because Gafford was in drop. And DG, when he's got his pull-up going, which is most of the time it seems, it's just a great part of his game, his pull-up 3-ball, then drop coverage is not the best strategy against DG because he's getting that screen set very high and he has good range. So you don't want to go under. If you go over that screen, he's walking into things. And he had at least 8 points in the in-between game in this one, which is something that he does a lot better than James Harden, the in-between game. Now, I mentioned this on Locked On. Is he a better pick and roll player than James? Hell no. Is he a better scorer than James? No. But I challenged him. I said on the last pod, on the last live, I said we needed DG to be more aggressive than only shooting 3 3-point attempts, than only, 12 shots against New Orleans in that first of the 2 games. He comes back in this game super aggressive from quarter 1. 10 points in the first quarter. Derrick Jones Jr. had 7 points in the first quarter. And also he had a beautiful relocation 3. DG shows that he's more of an off-ball mover than the likes of Trae Young, Luka Doncic, even Donovan Mitchell, and James Harden. He relocates after threes. Late in the game, we even ran him off a curl. He slipped the screen, I believe, turned the corner, and went. Actually, no, I don't think he set the screen. He just came off it and just, before he was about to take it, he just went back door. Or I don't even remember. Or he just came off and he hit a layup. Let's just put it that way. It sounds fucking all over the place. But at the end of the first quarter, despite DG and DJ starting the game well, we were down 10, 42-32. And I don't even think it was horrible defense. I think they were just lights out, Dallas. And their starting lineup in this game was Gafford, PJ Washington, so 2 guys that made the NBA Finals as starters in 2024. But instead of DJ, Luka, and Kyrie, it's Cooper Flagg, Max Christie, and Najee Marshall. So definitely a game that we had to win, especially given that we've lost 4 games in a row, and Portland had surpassed us in the standings, had overtaken us in the standings. Second quarter, Kawhi Leonard gets things going. We go on an 8-0 run right away. 3-ball in transition, a strip on a defensive rotation, and a drive where he missed, but it drew 2 defenders, and Ijax put in the offensive rebound. Great energy from Ijax, great energy from Kawhi. Jordan Miller getting in the paint, had 6 of his 7 shot attempts in the first half, just getting downhill. But the Mavs, man, they were impressive, bouncing back with some big-time shots from Cooper Flagg, Max Christie. And yeah, we were a little bit sloppy at times. That it contributed to that. But the Mavs were kind of unconscious, and they have a really strong, if you look at that starting lineup, nobody's under 6'5". So they have a lot of size, compared to guys like Darius Garland and even Chris Dunn, who was in the game. That there were moments where Cooper Flagg, Najee Marshall, these guys were just bullying us. PJ Washington in that first half, like just a strength thing. So we allowed 72 points in the first half, partially getting bullied a little bit, more than anything, them being unconscious. But DG for us had 18 points in the first half, which tied his season high. So we're down 63-72 at half, and at this point, I'm just hoping they cool down. At this point, I'm just hoping they cool down, and cool down they did. Third quarter, Brook Lopez had a nice little moment where he had a dunk on the pick and roll with Garland, because at this point, they weren't dropping as much. They were hedging at times, which gave us 4-on-3 situations. And then he got a kick out 3 right after that dunk for 5 straight points. DG continued his onslaught. Another deep 3. Then we turned them over. JC had a layup that gave us the lead. They called timeout. We don't really do. I mean, I think we could say we tightened up the defense a little bit, but a lot of it was just them starting to miss shots. They don't have as much talent as us. Their best players, Cooper Flagg, who's a rookie. We have Kawhi Leonard and Darius Garland, 2 guys that have already made the All-Star team that are better than Cooper Flagg right now. And we went on a 15-4 run. I thought Brook Lopez did a really solid job defensively in that third quarter, protecting the rim, and then at times hedging on those Max Christie coming off screens. When Max Christie was coming off screens for a 3, he would come off and take that look away so he wouldn't just be wide open. Two blocks as well in the game for Brook Lopez. Kawhi, and then my favorite part probably of that third quarter when we started to create a little separation was Kawhi and Darius Garland with their 2-man game. In 2024, we saw James Harden and Kawhi Leonard sometimes set screens for one another, and then you would get a smaller guy on Kawhi or maybe a slower guy on James and take advantage of that, because teams are usually going to switch the 1-3 pick and roll in today's game. A lot of it because small forwards do not have the ability to bully guys in the post anymore, but ours does. Kawhi Leonard does. So DG and Kawhi are running pick and roll or pick and pop, and 2 straight possessions, these fools in Dallas didn't communicate, and Kawhi's just wide open for 3. Knocks them both down, makes it 87-79, timeout Dallas. But then they made some bullshit shots and kept it close. We outscored them 37-27 in the third to go into the fourth quarter with a 1-point lead. I thought Jordan Miller did a good job in the beginning of that fourth quarter, getting in the paint. And one thing that impresses me about him consistently is even though he's on the skinnier side, he's strong. He goes into guys' chests and knocks them back, like guys that are a lot bigger than him. It's impressive. Chris Dunn, he had a big shot. He only had 2 field goals made in this game, but he had a big corner jumper. Nico hit a corner 3 early on in that fourth quarter. And then we did a very concerted effort, or made a very concerted effort to stagger Garland and Kawhi, given, their restrictions with Kawhi's left ankle and Garland's toe. So we brought in DG for Kawhi with 8 minutes and 37 seconds left in the game. We only got outscored by 2 with Kawhi out. He comes back in at 440. The Mavs started to hedge on the Garland ball screens, but I thought DG did a really good job of just making the right reads and continuing to be ball dominant when Kawhi was out. I like when Garland's ball dominant. I just don't like when he dilly-dallies on the ball too much in isolation. Just pick a side and go. You're quick, dude, and you have a handle. Like, make these fools guard you without fouling. But I love the, subtle off-ball moments from Garland, passing and then relocating, spacing well. It's one pass away. It's fantastic. And he was leading the way nicely offensively. And then he had that crazy contested 3 on the right wing. Derrick Jones Jr. had the insane putback dunk, which was his first basket since the first quarter. We were up 120-116. I'm thinking, okay, we're going to win this game. John Collins commits a dumb foul where he lunges forward, doesn't get anywhere close to the ball, and we're over the limit. They hit 2 free throws. Kawhi misses a turnaround in isolation. Derrick Jones Jr. and Chris Dunn on the other end do not box out. They get third chance opportunity and score, tie the game at 120. And then DG turned the ball over, dilly-dallying too much with the ball. They score on the fast break. And then Kawhi Leonard continues what's been his clutchest season as a Clipper for me. This or 2020, but he's had more game winners / game tying shots in this one. Game winner against New Orleans on Halloween, game winning and one against the Houston Rockets. And in this one, the game tying little running layup or running hook to make it 122-122. And then Jordan Miller gets a big stop on Cooper Flagg. Good job contesting without fouling. We force an overtime. We got outscored 23-22 in the fourth. Man, shit happens. That's all I can say. But the fourth quarter, after the Mavs scored first, we went on an 11-0 run, and it was simply because our players are just better, and we needed to win this game. We just needed to. Kawhi Leonard gets double-teamed, makes the right read, throws it across the court to Derrick Jones Jr. for a wide-open 3 that he hits. Boom. Then DG hits a 3 off of a Kawhi kickout. The attention of Kawhi Leonard, the incredible shooting game of Darius Garland, that made it a season high for him. And then ding, ding, ding. Kawhi Leonard blow-by watch. He gets by PJ Washington for the layup all the way. I think that would be his 4th or 5th blow-by of the season, which would definitely be the most that he's had since his ACL tear. I'm not ready to say that he's as quick as 2021 because the eye test does not support that. But, man, it looks like the guy's getting quicker post-ACL tear this year. That deserves a hand. So, big bucket, and then the capper of it all. Actually, it wasn't. DG had a nice drive and kick to Derrick Jones for a 3. They call the timeout, but the capper of it all, Brook Lopez gets 2 straight offensive rebounds, and Kawhi Leonard hits a falling away, on the move, going to his left, 3 with one leg to give us the win. Seals the deal. We win it 138-131 in Dallas in overtime. We won both games there this season, and we played a total of 3 overtimes. Heroic performance from James Harden and Bogey in the first one without Kawhi, and in this one, Kawhi and Darius Garland. We are 35-36 now with 11 games left to play. This season has absolutely flown by. It's been insane. I've covered 69 of the games here on Dime Dropper. If it were at least a 2-minute recap, it was at least 2 minutes, but I've still tried my best. As I've mentioned with the Laker recaps, I've been awful about that. I've covered about 22 games, and I just think I might have to revisit how I do content on this channel going forward next season. But big win for us, man. Big win. Let's read the lines. First, for the Dallas Mavericks, who shot 47% in the game. We shot 57. But here's the crazy part. They shot 12 more field goals than we did and 11 more free throws. And we didn't even turn the ball over like crazy. We turned the ball over 12 times. They turned the ball over 16. They really shot 12 more field goals than us and 11 more free throws. I mean, that's the reason why they were in the game. But we shot 57%. They shot 47. We shot 83% from the line. They shot 76. And then the big one, they shot 38% from three, but we shot 50, 21 for 42. And 13 of those 21 were from Kawhi or Darius Garland. So our stars came to play. 50% from three. We'll take that. They played a 9-man rotation. I find it crazy that Chris Middleton's on the Mavericks. It's like that happened out of nowhere. 8 points for him on 2 for 6 shooting, 2 for 4 from three, and 2 for 2 from the free throw line in 14 minutes. Marvin Bagley III, he's there as well now. I guess he was involved in the Chris Middleton trade. He had 17 points, 17 points, 7 rebounds on 7 for 8 shooting, and made both his threes. Was 1 for 3 from the free throw line, though. Max Christie started and shot horribly. 7 points, 4 rebounds, 1 steal, 1 block on 2 for 11 shooting, 1 for 7 from 3, made both his free throws in 23 minutes. He was a minus 15. He could not hit. Klay Thompson. Actually, no, let's talk about Daniel Gafford. He was good. 7 points, 13 rebounds, 1 assist on 3 for 8 shooting, 1 for 2 from the foul line. Klay Thompson, 12 points. He only scored in the first, which was great. So we shut him down after that. He only shot 2 more times, and they were 2s. We did a pretty decent job of running him off the line, but wow. 12 points, 2 assists, 1 block, 1 turnover on 4 for 6 shooting, and made all 4 of his threes. Ryan Nembhard, Andrew Nembhard's brother, I watched him play at Summer League, and I covered it in my vlog, like the first Cooper Flag Summer League game. That vlog is on my channel. If you're a mod, post that comment, post a link to that in the chat. But that was a good vlog. And I said that Ryan Nembhard is going to be an NBA player because I saw the way that he moved in pick and roll. And, he's got a good feel for the game. 13 points in this game, 6 for 10 from the field, missed his only 3, made his only free throw to go along with 5 rebounds and 9 assists. So he almost had a double-double. And he's just got a good, as I said, the game isn't too fast for him. He's undersized, but he's got a solid handle, solid mid-range. And if you can just make good reads and pick and roll, make shots, you got a career in this league. And the last players I haven't talked about, Najee Marshall, Cooper Flag, and PJ Washington. Najee Marshall had 28 points. This has without a doubt been the best season of his career. 15 points a game for him. That's a career high. 28 points, 2 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, 2 turnovers on 11 for 23 shooting, 1 for 6 from 3, and 5 for 7 from the free throw line in 37 minutes. He was a minus 19, though, but whatever. It's single game plus minus. PJ Washington, 21 points, 6 rebounds, 1 steal, no turnovers on 7 for 14 shooting, 3 for 8 from 3, and 4 of 5 from the free throw line. He was good. PJ Washington was good. Then Cooper Flag. I really like Cooper Flag. He's just got to work on his shooting, but he's got all the tools. He can defend, gets to the basket, strong as shit, tall, gets his shot off. He's got to get a post game. That'd be nice. 18 points, 10 rebounds, 8 assists, almost a triple-double, 4 blocks, 2 turnovers on 6 for 16 shooting, 0 for 2 from downtown, and 6 for 7 from the free throw line. But now for the good guys. A 9-man rotation with Ijax playing the least amount of minutes, which I don't know if I agree with. 10 points, 6 boards, 2 assists, 1 block, 1 turnover on a perfect 4 for 4 from the field. All those were dunks. 2 for 2 from the free throw line in 15 minutes of work. Ijax, it's not an ideal center rotation, Ijax and Brook Lopez, but Ijax is, he's been great in his role since Giannik's been hurt. He's been absolutely great in that role. But he only played 15 minutes. I genuinely think he should get more. Jordan Miller, 10 points off the bench. Another double-figure scoring game. 2 rebounds, 2 assists, no turnovers on 3 for 7 shooting, missed his only 3 and made all 4 of his free throws in 22 minutes. Really solid performance by Jordan Miller. He's been one of the best parts of our season, man. I'm just so happy for him. And then Nico Batum, 6 points, 6 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal on 2 for 3 shooting, and all those shots were threes. Oh, Nico. We'll take those 2 threes. You know what I'm saying? We'll take those. And 6 boards. I think it was a solid performance by him. Chris Dunn was our last guy off the bench. In this game, we scored 30 points off the bench. They scored more than that. They scored 50. Remember, though, we're missing Ben Mathurin. Chris Dunn had 4 points, 2 rebounds, 5 assists, no turnovers, 2 steals and 2 blocks, and one of them was a crucial steal in overtime on 2 for 6 shooting and missed his only 3 in 32 minutes. The guy just helps you win. You can never tell what he does from the stat sheet. The guy moves his feet. He takes the best offensive players on the other side, and he comes up with big plays. Chris Dunn, getting it done. Then our starters. John Collins played the least, still being monitored. Let's see what his highest minutes total has been since he's come back. He hasn't played 30 minutes. He hasn't played 30 minutes since the game against Denver, that dramatic game where Jamal Murray choked at the line. But he played 29 in this one, so we'll see if he plays 30 tonight against Milwaukee when good old Glenn comes to town. That's going to be fun. JC, 8 points, 3 rebounds, 1 steal, 2 blocks on 3 for 7 shooting, 1 for 5 from downtown. So it's been a little cold from 3 these last couple of games. 3 for 8 in the game before, and then 0 for 4 in the last 2 games before that. He's only shooting 25% from 3 this month, but he was shooting so lights out for a couple months after his initial slump that it's like, I don't know, there's going to be some regression, but hopefully he can get it back up before the playoffs because we're going to need it. But yeah, 8 points, 3 boards, 1 steal, 2 blocks for JC. Didn't shoot very well. It was an okay game for him. But Brook Lopez, I thought it was a very solid performance. Almost a double-double. 10 points, 9 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 blocks, 2 turnovers on 4 for 8 shooting, 2 for 6 from downtown. Missed both his free throws, so that's just something to watch. The free throw shooting from Brook Lopez, he's shooting his worst free throw percentage this season at 75% since 2018 with the Lakers. But I thought it was a good performance overall. 4 for 8 from the field. We'll take that. And almost a double-double. DJ, that game against New Orleans, I'm telling you, got him back on track. 15 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, and just 1 turnover on 6 for 9 shooting, 3 for 5 from 3 in 37 minutes. He was awesome. He was our 3rd best player, DJ. One of the best role players in basketball when he's knocking down the 3 ball. And then Kawhi Leonard continues to lead by example and be electric every single night. All NBA, that man, he just can't miss more than 1 more game. 34 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals and a block, 2 turnovers on 12 for 22 shooting, 5 for 9 from 3, and made all 5 of his free throws in 36 minutes. He was a game high plus 23. He's just been the man. He's extremely efficient. Another 30 ball. That 20-plus point streak continues. And then Darius Garland, a season high. He's already had 4 of his top 10 games scoring-wise this season for us. And he's played 9 games for the Clippers and 26 for the Cavs this season. 4 of the top 10 highest scoring games from this season have been with us. So he's looking healthier. He's shooting 49, 49, 84 splits as a Clipper. He's shooting 49% from 3. He's looking like an all-star, man. Right in time for the playoffs. I can't believe the Cavs traded us Darius Garland in his prime, but we'll take it. 41 points for DG. 3 rebounds, 11 assists, 1 steal, 1 block. Did turn the ball over 4 times, but he's been better lately, I feel like, about taking care of the ball. Yeah, he didn't have any turnovers in the Pelicans game. He did have turned 8 in the Spurs game, and then before that 1. So I don't know. We can debate that point. But the 40 and 10, he's only one of 4 Clippers ever to do it. James Harden, Lou Will, and CP3 3 times being the others. All guys that I've gotten to watch in my time as a Clipper fan, which is definitely touching. But 41 and 11 for DG on 15 for 24 shooting. He shot more than Kawhi. 8 for 12 from 3. I mean, listen, you better step up. Drop coverage is dangerous against DG. 8 for 12 from 3. 3 for 3 from the free throw line in 39 minutes. He did get taken out with like 3 minutes left for the minutes restriction, but woof. 67% from 3. We'll take that. So big win, 138 to 131, 35 and 36 now. We got to go back to 500. And tonight we got the Bucks without Giannis. So let's get this shit done. Vlog number 24 coming up. If you have not checked out the other vlogs, we're trying to get every single one to 1,000, just like we did last season. I know the novelty of Intuit isn't as unique as it was last season, but check them out. I put a lot of work into them, and the fans give you an authentic perspective of the Clippers season. So check those out. Right now, the ones that are less than 1,000, we've got the, let's see, the last one, 2 straight games with the Spurs and what the potential series would be. That was a really good one. Only at 624. The one where we got our 4th straight win. This was a shorter one against Chicago. That is about 324 views away from 1,000. And then this one is 529. That was a really good one. Anthony Edwards dagger against us late. That was a good one. And then this one was different. This doesn't count as a game day vlog. That was Clipper fans reacting to the Zoo trade, though. That was a big one. Terrence Mann's return. I released that a little bit late. That's why it's like that. Then Jaylen Brown's 50 ball. That was a crazy one as well. So check those out. But hey, I'll see you tonight. Let's go have fun, dog. We'll be watching on TV. I've almost tried all the Intuit Dome food. And if you haven't seen my taste testing, you should check those out in the vlogs. But that goes back to last season as well. But all right, guys, I'm going to leave now. Head over to Intuit. Go Clips. Let's make this 500. Let's get this team back to 500. Peace.